Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Damian Priest is on the receiving end of a 4-word message from Liv Morgan, who was involved in an argument with Finn Balor on WWE Raw. This week on Monday Night Raw, Priest was in singles action against Dominic Mysterio. The match ended via disqualification after interference from the Judgment Day with J.D. McDonough disguised as Santa Claus. On Instagram, McDonough put his former stablemate on the naughty list. Reacting to his post, Morgan took a dig at Priest after he chokeslammed McDonough. Balor and McDonough lost the WWE World Tag Team Championship to the War Raiders last week on Monday Night Raw. Priest assisted Eric and Ivar in winning the titles during the match's closing moments. Morgan, on the other hand, has been feuding with Rhea Ripley. The two will cross paths on the January 6 edition of Monday Night Raw on Netflix, with Morgan defending the Women's World Championship against the former champion. Vince Russo has criticized WWE's booking of Damian Priest after he was once again booked in a match against Dominic Mysterio. Speaking on Sportskeeda Wrestling's latest edition of Legion of Raw, Russo also discussed Priest's alliance with the War Raiders. The newly crowned WWE World Tag Team Champions assisted Priest in fending off the Judgment Day. Russo said, Priest's feud with Balor began at SummerSlam 2024 when the latter cost his former tag team partner the title against Gunther. Priest and Balor unsuccessfully challenged the ring general at Saturday night's main event. The atmosphere backstage at WWE was thick with tension. Damian Priest, a towering figure with an enigmatic aura, sat alone in the Judgment Day's locker room. The silence was broken only by the occasional hum of fluorescent lights above. His demeanor was calm on the surface, but his mind churned with thoughts of the group's recent turmoil. Finn Balor's icy attitude and Liv Morgan's cryptic behavior had created fractures in the once unified faction. Priest leaned back in his chair, his arms crossed over his chest. The unease between Finn and Liv was no secret, and Priest, caught in the middle, felt the weight of it all. Liv had been acting strangely ever since Finn's decision started clashing with hers. Their verbal sparring in recent weeks had escalated into near-explosive confrontations. As Priest mulled over these dynamics, his phone buzzed on the table. The screen lit up with a notification from Liv Morgan. Intrigued, he grabbed the phone and unlocked it. Her message was simple yet loaded with ambiguity. 4 words. No context. Priest's brows furrowed as he stared at the screen. What truth was Liv referring to? And why send this to him now? Questions swirled in his mind as he replayed recent events, searching for clues that might explain her cryptic words. Liv Morgan was not one to mince words, but she was also someone who thrived on layered meaning. Her message could be a warning, a challenge, or even a plea. Priest's instincts told him it was significant, but he needed more information before taking action. The following evening on Raw, tensions ran high as the Judgment Day segment approached. Priest walked alongside Balor and Dominic Mysterio, his eyes scanning the arena's sea of cheering fans. Liv Morgan was scheduled for a match later in the night, but Priest couldn't shake the feeling that her message was tied to something bigger. As the group reached the ring, Balor grabbed a microphone, his tone sharp and commanding. He launched into a promo filled with bravado, dismissing Liv Morgan as a distraction who didn't belong in their world. The crowd's reaction was mixed, some booing Balor's harsh words, while others cheered the faction's notorious confidence. Priest stood silently, his expression unreadable. He couldn't deny that Balor's words stung. Liv had once been a close ally to him, someone who understood his struggles and shared his ambitions. Yet here they were, on opposite sides of an invisible battlefield. Later that night, Priest found Liv backstage near the catering area. She was leaning against a wall, her arms crossed as if waiting for him. Her eyes met his, a mixture of determination and vulnerability reflecting in their depths. "You got my message," she said, her voice low but steady. Priest nodded. "What's this about, Liv? What truth are you talking about?" Liv glanced around to ensure they were alone before stepping closer. "Finn's playing you, Priest. He's playing all of you. Don't you see it? Everything he does is for himself. He'll tear this group apart if it means staying on top." Priest's jaw tightened. He'd had his own doubts about Balor's leadership, but hearing Liv voice them made it feel more real. "Why do you care? You're not part of this anymore." Liv's eyes burned with intensity. "Because I've seen what he's capable of, and I'm not about to let him destroy you too." Her words hung in the air like a challenge. Priest didn't respond immediately, weighing her warning against his loyalty to the group. Liv sighed, her frustration evident. "Look, I know you don't trust me right now, but just watch him. Pay attention to how he manipulates the minute, how he undermines you when it suits him. The truth always emerges, Priest. You just have to be willing to see it." With that, Liv turned and walked away, leaving Priest alone with his thoughts once again. In the days that followed, Priest couldn't shake Liv's words. He began observing Finn more closely, noting subtle behaviors he'd previously overlooked. Finn's habit of steering decisions to benefit himself, his condescending remarks toward Dominic when the younger wrestler faltered, and his occasional digs at Priest's abilities, they all painted a picture that Priest hadn't wanted to see. The breaking point came during a high-stakes match on SmackDown. The Judgment Day faced off against a formidable trio, with tensions running high. Finn's ego led him to make a reckless call, tagging himself in and costing the team a crucial victory. As the referee's hand hit the mat for the third count, Priest's frustration boiled over. Backstage, the confrontation was inevitable. Priest cornered Finn in the locker room, his voice low but laced with anger. "What the hell was that out there? You're so focused on proving you're the leader that you're dragging us down." Finn sneered, his demeanor dismissive. "Don't blame me for your shortcomings, Priest. If you can't handle the pressure, maybe you don't belong here." The words hit like a slap, but they also solidified what Priest already knew. Liv had been right. The unity of the Judgment Day was a facade, and Finn was at the center of its unraveling. That night, Priest made a decision. He approached Liv after the show, finding her in the parking lot as she prepared to leave. "You were right," he admitted, his tone heavy with both regret and resolve. "I see it now. Finn's tearing us apart." Liv's expression softened, a hint of relief washing over her. "What are you going to do about it?"